Okay, welcome back. Now we're here with MPI Southern California Chapter President Amy Zelinsky. Amy, congratulations on a very successful WeCon. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. I'm feeling amazing, to be honest. I feel great. The feedback has been so great so far. Lots of connecting, lots of great education. I feel amazing.
Awesome.
Slightly tired.
Yes, well, you deserve to be tired. You went above and beyond because of circumstances that happened on the chapter. What has been maybe some of your top learnings that you've had during all the sessions we've had? What have been some of your more exciting moments of this WeCon?
I think connecting really for me,
Hmm.
again, that's the biggest thing. Candidly, I have not been able to attend quite as many sessions as I want because I've got several programs coming up. So schedule wise and whatnot.
Yes.
So for me, and that's one of the things that I love about this program is there are so many opportunities, um, to connect throughout the week,
Hmm.
throughout the over the several days, so really, again, connecting with people, that's been my biggest thing. And just understanding what their story is.
Mhm.
And it's the stuff that's outside of the classroom for me.
Hmm.
That's often, the benefit of this event.
Awesome.
I'm curious, and for everybody watching and everybody that's here, this is the current president and this is the past president of Money.
Yes, yes,
So I'm going to
And
ask both
future
of you the
yes.
same
president.
question. No, absolutely
She's like,
not.
no.
Whoever that's here. But so, Amy, when you think back on your last year, because your presidency is about to end, or coming up at the end of it, and that went so fast, what is one word that comes to mind that just encapsulates your presidency this past year of our chapter?
I think transition. um it's been a very transitional year for us, so we've gone through, as you kind of
Hmm.
alluded to, we've had we had a reunification with our Orange
Yes.
County chapter, so there's been a lot of transition there. From a personal perspective, personal growth, lots of things that I've learned over the last year.
Hmm.
So transition, and then flexibility also, just needing, with so many things happening, so many changes, in people's personal lives, professional lives, all of it. You really have to be flexible. So I think it'd be a combination of those two.
Okay, Amani, you're up.
Oh, and the question, repeat the question because I was ready. I was getting ready for Amy's next question.
Mental nap, even though he was upright with his eyes open. Okay. So Amani was president last year, right? So your presidency was coming to a conclusion around this
Yes.
time last year.
Yeah.
So what's one word that encapsulates your presidency when you were president of MPI Southern California?
I'll give you three: survive and thrive is what I would say because we were still in the pandemic and we had to do a lot of things. It was a lot of virtual and then in person, then virtual, then testing, then in person. It was a lot, but we got through it and we were able to kind of do well with what we were able to, the events we were able to put on. And then we just led into Amy's year, which was then able to ascend even more and get us back to kind of pre-pandemic levels in terms of attendance and events. So it was just kind of trying to maintain the ship
Mhm.
and keep it moving.
Okay, last question, and then I know you've
Yes.
got a bunch.
Yes.
What is one piece of advice that you give to Amy as she's succeeding out of her presidency? Because now
Ooh.
you're coming off of
Yes.
this past year that you weren't your immediate past
Right.
president.
I would say just give yourself grace for everything that we went through this year. Be very proud of what we accomplished because it's a lot of times when we're president, we're in it so much that we cannot see everything we've accomplished. We've joined together with another chapter, so we've reunified. We've put on some amazing events, like particularly State of the Industry, GMID. Like we have done some really, really high quality events, and then WeCon, which we're closing off. So definitely celebrate because we've had a great year, and it's very hard when you're in it 24/7 on calls, on meetings, and things like that. But now just take a step back and really kind of give yourself a pat on the back or a hug, a kiss, a cry, whatever,
Mhm.
because we've done really,
I'll
really
do both.
well. And it's hard to see that when you're in it. You like even I look back and say, "Oh wow, we did do well at that." And so that would be my advice.
I think that's great, actually, because you're so right. It is so hard to see when you're in it.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't know, how has this week gone.
Yes.
Yes, I
you know,
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
but you're right, when you can look at kind of some of the tangible
Oh
elements of
yes.
it, the education, the
Hmm.
networking, and things like that. That's
Yeah,
super helpful.
100%.
Yeah.
And the people that are coming up behind us to take leadership roles too, that have been volunteers, really good. I
Mhm.
want to kind of change directions. Tell us about Bushbox, and then also tell us about how has MPI helped you grow your company?
Got it. So Boostbox is a monthly subscription tasting experience
Mm-hmm.
that is focused on variations of single ingredients that you use in cooking every day. So think of it, the way that I like to describe it best is everyone in the pandemic probably got a wine tasting delivered to their home, right? So it's very similar to that, but each month we focus on one particular ingredient, variations of that ingredient. So you may get 6 or 8 different versions of honey or oil, cooking oil, or salt or pepper, vinegar, so on and so forth. And then it includes things like tasting cards, tasting notes, recipes, a little fun little kitchen gadget, things like that. And then quarterly, we have a live virtual tasting experience. So you can
Yes.
hop on Zoom. We have people from all over the country, and it's really great. And people really tend to love using it for mostly for gifts,
Yeah.
because even though, one thing that everyone has really leaned into being able to stay more connected, even after the pandemic, from afar
Hmm.
via Zoom, via whatever it is.
Yes.
And so people are like sending these, they buy one for themselves and then they buy one for a friend and then they get online and they do it, together. And it's a really great way to keep that community going and the family going. Um, as far as MPI,
Hmm.
what I've learned is it's a great team building experience.
Yes.
And obviously, all of the connections that we have here are amazing. And so it's really, that's the big thing is, so I've got one actually next month
Hmm.
with one of our partners here, and just again, bringing people together, offering a truly unique
Yeah.
experience. I mean, when was the last time you did a vinegar tasting? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And really learned how to use it and things like that. So it's really fun. And it's been fun also to kind of work within a theme. We were talking about potentially doing a bush box here, right? And the theme here is one of the words, our keywords is ignite. And
Yes.
so our theme this month for bush box, it has been hot sauce. So, finding ways to connect all of these themes. It's also been really fun.
Yeah.
It's a great client gift too. I actually bought a bunch
You
a
have, yeah.
couple weeks ago, or I don't know,
Nice.
maybe a couple months ago at this point. I can't remember. But it's a unique thing that people remember, and it's thoughtful, and it's homegrown.
Yeah.
You're buying locally
Yeah.
and from somebody that you know and trust. So I
Yeah.
I, I love Box. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
really cool.
appreciate it. And yeah, it is great to make these connections and
Yes.
introduce it to people and have the support of friends
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
colleagues who have all experienced it. And
Hmm
it's
I want
really
to
fun.
make a point that this is Amy who's running her own business and being chapter president and has a second business that she's running. So it's a little different when you're president because I had the same thing doing these things compared to if you work for like a big corporation like an MGM or whatever and they kind of support you where you are doing like 3 full-time jobs where maybe one and a half is paying you. So I want to kind of put that
Very
out
true.
there so that people are aware um, as you move forward and you're going to come and take over and be immediate past president how have you personally grown through this experience?
I think for me, it goes back to the flexibility,
Hmm.
um, and giving. You guys were talking about this earlier. Giving yourself grace and giving
Yes.
other people grace. That has
Yes.
honestly been my biggest takeaway. Really, is just I'm not going to get everything done in as efficiently, as quickly as I would like, and just letting remembering that you are doing the best that you can, and that no one's going to die.
No.
hmm
Yes.
That's always been a thing, is
Yes.
taking that step back and thinking, what is the worst case scenario here?
hmm
And okay, so you might be an hour late getting something done or
hmm
whatever it is, but giving yourself grace, giving those around you grace,
Hmm.
and again, that flexibility.
Awesome. Well said. I think we're going to give you some time to eat lunch before we can get to the general session, which is going to start soon. But just thank you for helping lead us through this amazing conference. There's a lot of pressure for WeCon, Manny, like,
hmm
with the speakers, with the revenue goals we have. And so it's just really, really, I'm just really proud. So great job.
Thank
Continue
you.
to lead us. We got a month and a half left. And yeah.
I appreciate that. I would love to take all of the credit, but the like
Yes.
the teams that we've had,
Yes. Yes.
it's definitely not me.
Hmm.
We've had an amazing team who has put this together. Both of you are on the team, and
Yes.
we couldn't do it without every single person on the team. So I appreciate that.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you for leading us. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
And we'll see you in the closing general session.
Yes.
Sounds
We'll
good.
see you
Okay.
soon. All
Thank
right. We'll
you.
be right back with our next guest momentarily.